After the brutal murder 11 years ago of her son Matthew, Judy Shepard and her husband Dennis began almost immediately to reach out. Their goal was to encourage people to replace hate with understanding, compassion, and acceptance. Finally, just this past week, President Barack Obama signed into law the Matthew Shepard and James Byrd Jr. Hate Prevention Act. In recognition of this landmark event, we revisit a recent interview we did with Judy Shepard. The reason behind our interview, the publication of a book she's written called The Meaning of Matthew. Hi, Judy. Thanks so much for joining us on MyQmunity today.
Well, thank you for the invitation.
Tell me, first of all, about the title, The Meaning of Matthew.
Well, it's kind of an interesting story. He was Matt to us, but Matthew to the public at large, and we just felt it was time that we introduced the two and made them one person. As I say in the book, Matt had a life before that night. He was found tied to the fence, and I just wanted the public to get to know him as he was.
Say, you write about, and I've heard you speak in the past, about how surprised you were by the reactions and actions of total strangers when Matthew was murdered. Has your surprise grown or diminished over the years?
No, I continue to be surprised on a daily basis. I think 11 years later, I'm surprised people remember in detail the way that they do. But then on the other hand, I'm surprised when someone doesn't remember. I guess that's the yin and the yang. I don't know, but people are so kind and so generous to us. It's been really quite a journey.
Tell me, you lost your son in 1998. He was taken from you. How long
Yes.
ago does 11 years seem?
That's exactly right. Some days it can happen yesterday, and some days it just seems a million miles away, depending on the mood of the day, I guess, and what else is going on. When we're together as a family, it seems very long ago. When it's just me, it seems like yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything in particular that makes remembering Matthew easier?
Well, writing the book had the ups and the downs, and what it has done for me, and I think for the rest of my family, Dennis and Logan, is that we've opened the door, the floodgates, if you will, to memories of the past that we really hadn't thought about or talked about in a really long time. And it's been really interesting to talk about things we did, and things that were funny, things that annoyed us about Matt, things that were very real and loving and kind about him. We just didn't really talk all that much about him when we were together. Frankly, we haven't been as a unit for quite a while, very often. So that's been really kind of fun.
If you had to give the audience, this is a question that's frequently asked in interviews of this nature. If there was one thing you could give the audience, one tidbit about Matthew that they might not know, and that would make him more human to them, what would it be?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. There's actually quite a lot out there about him, but I'm not sure that a lot of people know that Matt had a younger brother. We were very careful to not talk about Logan in the press when we first started doing this because we didn't want anyone seeking him out. Matt was very, very fond of his younger brother and cared a great deal for him and was always looking out for Logan's feelings and his safety. There was an Easter when Dennis and I had thought Logan wouldn't be looking for something from the Easter Bunny, and Matt reminded us that night that Logan was indeed waiting for something from the Easter Bunny, so we had to make a little side trip to get something to leave. Matt was very concerned that Logan would be devastated if the Easter Bunny forgot about him. Matt cared very much for people. Yeah, he cared very much for people, and I just want people to understand the really good, soft, sweet side of Matt, as well as the issues that he struggled with.
Well, our guest today has been Judy Shepard. She's written a new book about her son. It's called The Meaning of Matthew, and it's in bookstores now. The late Senator Edward M. Kennedy said of the book, Judy gives us all a greater understanding of Matthew and the larger meaning of his life. She demonstrates the difference that each individual can make in achieving a better and more just society. I'm Steve Kometko for MyQmunity.com.